Hello. Psychic readings for you. Sound familiar? But I'm also going to do a collective reading to start with, and then I'm going to jump into personal psychic readings. So if you've only got time to just hang around for the collective reading, I'm just going to share this and then we'll jump into that just to see what message wants to come through in the collective. I was getting ready and like all this sort of information was streaming through and I'm like, is this a collective message? Is this for somebody in particular? Obviously for you if you're here watching this. But I just wanted to, I'll just do a collective message to start with and see what comes through. So welcome. Let me know if this is the first time to my live stream or whether you're a seasoned veteran here at Reality Awareness. I'm so curious where you're from around the world. Can let me know where you're from. Let me know how the planetary weather is there, because there's a lot of planet stuff moving around, creating a lot of havoc on our planet. If you hadn't noticed. Okay, sorry, I'm just sharing this and then I'll be present with you. Sometimes I can multitask and sometimes I do many things at a time. One thing at a time. Okay. Let's pull this over. First time here, welcome Mass. Lovely to have you here. Yay. All right, so going to start with a collective reading, and Rumi was calling for the collective reading. So let's see what wants to come through, because I felt like, as I said, there's like a lot of messages wanting to come through and I'm like, okay, well, who is this for? Make sure you've picked a number for Tuesday Tarot as well on my page. It's a number between 1 and 6. So you can always do that every Tuesday. I release that Monday, Tuesday, depending on where you are in the world. All right, so this is for the collective. What is the message for the collective? Okay, victory of Mariam. Okay, collective message, commitment and the angel Razbar. We are officially out of eclipse season, so there has been a shift. Have you guys felt it? Because there has definitely been a shift. Yay for the first time joining me live. A lot of people first time joining me live, so welcome. So victory of Mariam, there's commitment. This is the collective reading, and then we have the angel Razbar. And the bottom card is the blessing of Zahara. Zara? I think it's Zara. So there's a lot of blessings. There's a lot of, it feels like a lot of positivity pouring into the collective. Now you won't really be feeling that positivity, the high vibrational crystalline light pouring in, if you haven't, like if there's things that you are still letting go of, or like it can be a dismantling of your old reality as well. So even though I use these cards in Tuesday Tarot, I just feel called to pull one of these for this collective reading as well. So I was seeing what's channeling through for the collective to start with, and I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to start talking about all the things that are in Tuesday Tarot, and I'm like, well, look what just came up. Sorry, spoiler alert, this is one of the cards that came up in Tuesday Tarot. Who can guess which number this is for Tuesday Tarot before it comes out in a few hours? That's hilarious. Okay. Now I'm just going to check the book, because these cards I'm still learning. I know some of them off by heart, but I'm definitely still learning this deck, even though I've had it for years. And for those of you who are nervous to do psychic readings on live streams because you're like, I still read from the book. I'm like, dude, I've been doing this for nearly 20 years and I still read from a book. And I don't like read from a book, but what I like doing is when I'm called to, I look in the book and I literally like skim over and see what jumps out of me, and then it triggers something, right? Especially if I don't know the cards. I mean, sure, you could use your intuition and tune into that, but I like being able to read through. Look, this is how much my decks mean to me, right? This is the little guidebook. Look, I've even written, like I've underlined this in the book and put a date on when it was significant to me. So I'm going to read this because this is the victory of Miriam. The promise of success is yours. I told you this is a positive reading. The promise of success is yours. So allow yourself to be brought to it through the guiding wisdom of life. The life that serves love. There is also a part of you that is daring to love, to live and to trust more so than ever before. Talk about opening your heart, anyone. You are even daring to quit the traumatic tendency to relive so many past hurts and aches. Is this really significant for you? This is in the past card, by the way, guys. You are no longer to taunt yourself with the failure and critique. You are less frightened of yourself, so you do not need to sabotage yourself anymore. That's a big one. Let me read that again. You are less frightened of yourself, so you do not need to sabotage yourself anymore. Let's just pick that apart for a minute. Let me read it one more time. You are less frightened of yourself, so you do not need to sabotage anymore. Do you realize how big that is? That's huge, right? The only reason you sabotage is because you're frightened of yourself. You're frightened of your own light. You're frightened of your own power. You're scared of yourself. You're not actually scared of love. You're not actually scared of wealth. You're not actually scared of anything. You're actually scared of yourself. What is it when we do personal development work? What is it when we do any inner work? Even someone on the live stream yesterday said that she was scared. She said shadow work is scary or something like that. She said, it's scary to do shadow work. Why? Because you're fucking facing yourself. It's not about them. It's not out there. It's not that person. It's actually a part in our psyche that we're integrating, and it's ourself that we're scared of. How significant, right? You are less frightened of yourself, so you do not need to sabotage anymore. So when you are sabotaging something that's really fucking good in your life, it's really important to ask yourself, what is it about myself that is scared about this situation? What part of myself am I frightened that this person is mirroring back to me that I don't want to look at? You are learning love's way and claiming it as your own. That is your path to victory assured. This oracle asks you to trust in your growing optimism, to let the war be over now and put it behind you, even if it means weeping with the sweet sorrow and relief for a while. The sunset is golden. The struggle is behind you. Now just rest and enjoy the golden glow as you rest with love a long, long while. Pretty significant. The war is over. We know that peace on earth begins in self. If we are still at war at ourselves, if we are still frightened of ourselves, there is going to be fear in the world and everybody's going to be fighting each other. Why? Because it begins in here. Find the peace in here. Heal all the stuff that's going on in here, and it will reflect in the world. 11 comments, 11 likes. I love it. Yeah, this is the collective message to begin with. So we have that, right? The promise of success of yours, the life that serves love. Then we've got commitment, yeah? So that's in the past card. And then we've got commitment. And like I said, spoiler alert, but this is one of the cards in Tuesday Tarot. I'm not going to specifically read what I wrote for Tuesday Tarot, but you can pick a card for Tuesday Tarot, pick a card between 1 and 6. And this is what alongside the commitment card. Yeah, I was guided to pull another card, and it's commitment to your biggest dreams. Okay, sorry, spoiler alert. I am reading this card a bit. Dream big. The commitment to dreaming bigger, and it's almost like if you're not dreaming your biggest, most outlandish, craziest dreams right now, the universe cannot bring them to you. One of my wise mentors had said to me, okay, awesome. Yeah, who wants to guess which number this one is, right? Awesome, you picked number 5. I'm not going to say yes or no. You guys are going to have to suss it out for yourself. One of my wise mentors once said to me, she said, I can't remember the exact words, don't quote me, it was many years ago. She said, if you're not, sometimes your manifestations are not manifesting because you're not dreaming big enough. And sort of what she meant by that, right? Like I said, they're not the exact words, but it's if you are not going for your full dreams, right? Like let's say the most craziest, outlandish dreams. You know exactly what they are, but you actually don't let yourself go there. You don't let yourself go there, right? Because you're like, from your current reality to where your craziest, biggest, wildest, outlandish dreams are, it's like, you know, it's all those, like, I don't like using the word ego. Okay, ego is a beautiful thing. It's our human self. There's nothing wrong with it. But just for ease of explaining things, I'm going to say this right now. Our ego is like, but how the fuck are we going to get there from this reality, and like just way too big. But the heart is like, but it's real, right? It's like the conflict between the head and the heart only ever, okay? That's all it is. And so your commitment to dreaming bigger is this place around, like, if you're not constantly spending time with your biggest, most craziest, outlandish dreams and being in the vibe, this feeling, like all of this now, right? Then the synchronicities cannot line up for this to come into fruition, right? Like, for real. Like, think about it, okay? So to have your biggest, wildest, outlandish dreams, okay, that aren't even that crazy really to your heart. It's like, but this is just the way I'm supposed to live, right? Like, your mind opens, okay, to think really big and outside of the box of normal society and outside of your current reality. You have to have an open mind. And by the way, divine step number 2, so there's 12 steps to awakening your life purpose. Divine step number 2 is open-mindedness, right? Next year, okay, from 2024, I'm going to run the 12 divine steps to awakening your life purpose. We're going to do a month at a time. It'll be free. Keep an eye out for that. The 12 divine steps to awakening your life purpose. Number 2 step is open-mindedness. If you have a closed mind, how the fuck can things come in? Ideas, opportunities, synchronicity, flow, energy, light. It doesn't happen, right? So when we've got an open mind and we're thinking into the biggest dreams possible, what happens is we're tapping into the infinite reality that we live in. Like, anything is available to you. It truly is, right? But it's only when you go, oh yeah, but, any buts, okay? Any buts is your ego going, yeah, that's too big for me. I don't feel ready for this. Let's just drop back into the sabotage, what we just read. And we stay over here. This is the past card. This is the right now card. This is a collective message, okay? When we are spending time, the commitment to your biggest, wildish, outlandish dreams that are actually not wildish and outlandish because it's just your heart, right? When we think about a heart, what is it? Apart from a closed, traumatic, broken heart, when we think about a heart, it's expansive. It's full of love. It's infinite possibility. It's all the things, right? Yeah, it's a heart is like big. Yeah, a heart is like, of course. Any time you're like, yeah, but no, that's your mind going, I'm going to keep you small because I'm not ready for this, because I'm fucking afraid of myself. I'm not afraid of the relationship. I'm not afraid of that person. I'm not afraid of the spotlight. I'm actually afraid of myself. The final outcome card is the angel reservoir. Let's have a look here. So 27. This, are you guys ready for this? The angel reservoir. This oracle comes to you with guidance. You are being guided deeper into your life purpose and destiny. So by the way, guys, like I just said, like, if you're afraid of doing psychic readings online because I don't know the cards and I need to read the book, like, I literally just open up to the card in the book. I'm not reading the whole fucking thing, am I? Like, there's like 3 or 4 pages here. Like, I didn't even turn to the exact, like, angel reservoir. I just opened up, knew this was angel reservoir, and I'm on the 2nd page. This little bit jumped out at me. Actually, I'm on the 3rd page. And I'm just showing you how to read readings, right? Like, this is the message. Like, I didn't even skim through that. Why? Because this jumped out at me. This is clairvoyance showing me the message that the collective needs to read for the card. We spoke about clairvoyance on the live stream yesterday. Did you watch it? Your clairvoyance is not just seeing ghosts. Your clairvoyance is seeing messages in where you're being guided. Yeah? Yeah, so this is the card deck. It's fucking beautiful, right? You can screenshot it. Alana Fairchild, the Rumi Oracles, is like the most loving deck. I actually love all her card work. You can feel the heart in all of it. It's, yeah, Alana Fairchild's awesome. So the Angel Raspberry. So just teaching you guys how to read as you're watching. Hope you're paying attention. This oracle comes to you with guidance. You are being guided into your life purpose, deeper into your life purpose and destiny. Like, how significant, right? Like a maturing adult who is ready to take on the mantle of greater responsibility, your soul is stepping up. You are going through a process of assuming more spiritual responsibility for the honest and empowered expression of your own essence. And through that, your healing presence in the world is increasing. You are stepping up and forward onto your path. This is appropriate now. It will make you more visible, but that is as it should be. It is not being about worth more than another. It is about the utterly sensible use of light that is dampened, that it not be dampened down by a shade, but instead placed by where it can cast its fullness onto others, still in darkness may find their way more easily. This is efficient, intelligent, and sensible. Your success and growth is drenched in compassion and brings joy to the heart of the master as another and another find their way, benefiting from your light, from the light of your being. So shine true. Be humble but not dismissive of your gifts, and allow others to find their way more easily because you chose to honor the power of the great silence that emanates through you evermore as you trust and surrender. If you guys ever needed a sign to step into your spiritual career or to amplify your spiritual gifts to enhance your current business and accelerate it with magic, ultimately, because it's the essence and the soul that pours through your business if you already have one, fine-tuning and accelerating and amplifying your intuition and understanding the intricacies of it, which is what I do with my clients. I help you understand the intricacies of it. I've been doing this for 20 years and I've worked with a lot of clients, and all of these pieces, like the thing is that my gift is I see, like, I always explain it, right? And I'm like, how does nobody ever see this? I know there's some of you out there. If you're an ancient blooded healer, which you can get my book, which I didn't get to releasing yesterday, but I'm giving away 3 signed copies of my book. So keep an eye out for that post on how you can enter. So you have a chance to win one of them. Like, I see people's trauma and any sort of issue in their life as like a yarn of wool, like a ball of yarn, right? Yarn of wool, like a ball of wool, and it's tangled. And I can see every little thread and where it comes from and pick it apart. Like, that's my gift. But I would not have honed my gift if I did not step up, sit up, step up, speak up every day for the past 7 years online. I've been doing this since 2005, but for the past 7 years online, if I did not step up and do this every day, I would not have that level of gift. I would not be able to see that. Allow others to find their way more easily because you chose to honor the power and the great silence that emanates through you. Like, your purpose, if you're here watching this, your purpose in some way, shape, or form is to wake up and empower humanity. Like, 100%. In some way, shape, or form. Yeah? Some way, shape, or form, that is what you're here for. And I guarantee that you already do that in some way, shape, or form. You do. Yeah, you really, really do. So this last little bit, really important. This oracle brings special messages of reassurance that you are making progress and are indeed on the right path. Although it may not unfold exactly as you anticipate, it will indeed unfold. You are making a positive impact in the world more than you consciously realize, and you are asked to therefore continue. Do not give up, do not turn back. It's like, hello, dream big, like your biggest dreams. Like, they're not crazy. I'm like, I want to say you're doing a disservice to yourself by not hanging out here. You're doing a disservice to yourself And you know how like we talk about this concept of like divine timing, and I do believe that there is a divine timing and an alignment, but that can be used as a sabotage excuse. And I want to say, every time you diminish yourself, you hide your light and you don't hang out here, you're actually like decelerating consciousness expansion. And you might seem like you're not contributing to human consciousness. So you're not like, well, how can I make an impact in the world, right? But I'm like, you actually do. And you don't, you decelerate ascension. I don't know if that's the right word. Like, we descend, kind of go backwards, you stop. It's like you got the brakes on for humanity as well as yourself when you're not hanging out here. The fastest way to accelerate is to focus on what you want. Of course, there's time for healing, but then most of the time you should be hanging out here. And today's message is like, hang out here. For those of you who watched my 3-part series back in August about the collective update and this 2-week spin that we were in, then there was like a landing for the 2 weeks of September. Then in the last 2 weeks of September, everything just like dispersed and everyone went on their paths of the way. And now here we are in mid-November. It feels like it's almost like the time now is for the only thing of this. That's the only thing. Yeah, that's the only thing. Yeah, like 100%. So the bottom card of the deck is the blessing of Zara, and I'm just gonna see what and so this is the like detoxing, so health, wellness, those sorts of things, but also letting go. Yeah, so this oracle brings the message that if something appears to be leaving your life, even something painful to release, it is because it is no longer healthy for you, no longer supporting life for you. There is something more loving and beautiful waiting. Do not try to feast on scraps. Stop scraping in the dirt for stale breadcrumbs. Rise up and move towards the seat at the heavenly table gleaming before you, for a greater feast awaits your attendance. Time to step into the light. Time to be at your highest capacity. Commit to your biggest dreams. Do not delay. Do not waste any more time. That's the collective message. For those of you who would like a psychic reading, I'm going to do private personal psychic readings. I'm not doing private. I'm doing personal psychic readings here on the live stream right now. For those of you who don't know how this works, if you'd like one, just say yes, please. And then I'll have a list of yes, pleases, and I'll intuitively pick one for you. Pick a person, sorry. Just starting to shuffle the cards and seeing what thing. The last card really resonated. Yeah, it's pretty powerful, right? Like, and that's the overlying card, and that's where I was like, are you hanging out in your big dreams, or are you still sabotaging because you don't know how to get from A to B? What's the word? Wake-up call, reality check. People who are following their heart have no fucking idea what they're doing, because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I just know that I'm going to do it. Is heart consciousness, is like, I know that I need to follow my heart because anything else just doesn't feel right. And it's like, we most of the time have no idea what we're doing, even though we're very clear on what we're doing. The logical mind goes, this makes no logical sense. What are you doing? And the heart's like, I'm just going to keep expanding here. The biggest piece around following your heart, making your dreams reality, creating an empire, living your purpose, blah, 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 is you must make your heart stronger than your mind. That is a muscle. That is a muscle. Of course, there's things and pieces and all the things to, what's the word? Like clear out, heal, like, do you know what I mean? Like, there's always a time and a place for that. But the biggest thing is for you to, make your heart muscle stronger than your mind. Your mind will always tell you why you shouldn't fucking do it. And your heart's like, yeah, I'm just going to do it anyway. Because the heart always finds a way. And the heart, knows your life purpose blueprint. Same with the inner child. Like, you know, a lot of people don't trust themselves because the inner child is so fucking wounded from all the shit that it went through as a child. And if you don't heal your inner child, and that takes quite some time, despite what anyone thinks, you know, like, and building the relationship with your inner child, healing the relationship with your inner child, healing the trauma that your inner child went through, and then building a solid, soulful connection with your inner child, your life purpose lives in your inner child. If you want to find your life purpose, heal your fucking trauma. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. That's what we do in Trust Intuition, okay? Trust Intuition doors are open. Early bird doors are open. The investment increases on the 1st of December. We're starting the 9-month certification training next February. I didn't run it this year, so I'm really excited to run the certification training next year. Those of you who pay in full will get a signed copy of my book, Ancient Blooded Healer, alongside when I post your training manual out to you as well. I really love it because I'm always like I'm a very writer. I've got a million journals and I love writing. I guess that's why I write books too, right? Okay. So I've got all the yes pleases here. If you'd like a private psychic reading, just comment psychic below. If you'd like the details for Trust Intuition, just comment trust below. Now, every time Trust Intuition is open, my 12-month private mentorship is open as well. That's my Life Purpose Accelerator. It's my inner circle, so you get access to everything. It is my application only because when I work with people on a long-term basis, I really it needs to be the right fit. I won't just work with anybody. So if you'd like the details for that, just comment accelerator below and I can send you the details for that too. Yes, Julie, make your heart stronger than your mind. Yes, Julie says so much progress with inner child during trauma shifter. So awesome. Fuck, that was a powerful thing. Such a powerful thing. Exactly, loving and reparenting your inner child. Yeah, it's so important. So important, Angel, 100%. Jenna Lee says, hard as a Libra, always stuck in heart and head. It's very interesting to, you know, like it is a muscle, and like the first time we even have that awareness around like make your heart stronger than your mind, it's like what? Like the mind's like trying to figure it out. Because the thing is that the mind will always try and figure anything out, right? Like it just always tries to figure anything out. And the thing is that you have to understand that the mind will never be able to figure out the heart. The heart consciousness and the brain, two very different things. It's like spirit and human. They can't figure each other out. Actually, the heart is just like, I just accept it all. But the brain is like, hang on a second, let me just figure this out. Okay, all right, who's this reading for? Because I've already pulled like a full 5-card reading actually. Okay, so, just checking the yes pleases here, bear with me. Okay, Beck Gust, is that how you pronounce your name? Beck and Julie, you jumped out at me straight away, and then when I scrolled, Beck, intuitively scrolled, Beck also jumped out. So this is for both of you. It is a 5-card reading. Release in the past, which we just talked in the Rumi Oracle, and the release card was also there with Angel Zara? The Angel Zara? Anyway, you guys heard it. So release. So again, oh, Gucci, thank you very much. Gucci? I hope that I'm pronouncing that correctly. I had a chihuahua called Gucci and it just reminded me of that. I've been seeing so many chihuahuas lately. Maybe he's around. Sorry, making me think of my baby that's now in heaven. Gucci. Yeah, I had a chihuahua called Gucci. Okay, I'll always remember that now. I'm not calling you a dog, but please know where I'm coming from. It's just that my chihuahua's been around for ages and I'm like, that's how, because he was spelt like W-O-O-C-H-I, and then you just pronounce that like G-O-O-T-C, like it's very close. I'm like, oh, that's Gucci's name. Gucci, okay. Anyway. All right, so Beck and Julie, release. Julie, I'm very clear. I've worked with you before. You're in the inner circle, so I know your history and your story. Julie, for some reason, the water is really jumping out. You need to spend more time at the water. You live close to the beach, I'm pretty sure, from memory. Maybe, anyway, the water, like, I don't know. spend more time at the water. For some reason, there's something about water. Maybe it's the emotional purge as well, and the connection through Avalon, through healing of the water. I know the mother stuff you've been healing and working through, so it's probably why it's coming there and why the water is calling you, because the water is very healing on a mothering level. It holds us like a womb. Could do like a rebirthing process for yourself actually through water. And then back, it feels like you're still looking back instead of looking forward. It feels like you've released something, but there's still grieving to do, hence water for you back. But it's like you're looking back instead of looking where you're going. And it feels like, it's like the only reason, I said this to a client this morning, the only reason we don't let go of something is because we haven't fucking grieved it. So it's like, if we're still ruminating on a memory or a past relationship or something, it's only because we haven't fully grieved it. And by the way, it's okay because it feels like there's, like grief is a big tangled ball of wool, okay? And it takes a lot to unravel that and to grieve all the different pieces, let alone go through a massive life change that started the grief process in the first place, okay? So it's not that it's bad, it's just that it's like it's time to heal is what I'm getting for you back. So awesome. So Julie said, I plan on going to the beach and listening to the new Let It Land meditation. Oh, perfect timing. So Let It Land meditation is in the 21-day quantum trauma shifter. And we've got Transcendence starting on Friday, guys. So in a couple of days, Transcendence start. It's a perfect, it's a crystalline, really tapping into frequency healing. With Transcendence and being able to really transform and like a dark, lower vibrational grid and stepping and plugging into a high vibrational grid. Now it's interesting because we've got visualized success here. So if you want the details for Transcendence, just comment Transcendence below. We start in a couple of days. It's a 6-week program. You get lifetime access and we run it every 9 months. So every time we run it every 9 months, you can do it again and it's layered on top, and that's very powerful. If you've read my book, I talk about the scar trauma layers. When we work with manifestation layers, it takes it to next level. Okay, Julie and Beck. So visualize success speaks for itself. Yeah. Hence, Beck, when I said about for you, Beck, looking forward. Yeah. And so if this is a past card, and like I said, you're still looking back, but it is in the past, and I feel like you are here, but you keep flicking back. The only reason we flick back is because we need more grieving time, more healing from whatever happened. Beck, for you, I'm getting it's very sacral chakra based, whether that's a relationship, mother healing, womb, I don't know if it's children, like can be abortion or miscarriage. It can also be inner child stuff, but it feels like it's a lot of transcendence. It feels like a lot of generational stuff for you that you're clearing out, Beck, and that's been interfering in the current relationships and the direction you're going, but you've been working on it, but it's lingering is what I'm getting for you. So visualize success, moving forward. Julie, that meditation is fire, especially since I'm waiting on the land to land, and it's like, right now it's the perfect time for this, right? In the visualize success. Next 6 months for you guys, vacuum away fear. So this speaks for itself. Archangel Michael, of 100% light, any deity that you call upon, always use of 100% light. At the end of it, if you're not sure, ask the being, are you of 100% light? Are you of 100% light? Are you of 100% light 3 times? If they disappear, they were not of 100% light. If they hang around 100% light, you're good to go. Vacuum away fear. The next 6 months is like choosing to stay in the vibration. So when I just did the collective reading and it was about the commitment to staying in the dream, the big dream, right? For you two, it's like, Julie, for you, it's like, I seeing like, it isn't. There's a fair bit of darkness through the base here. So for you, Julie, it's like clearing the darkness, clearing the unconsciousness from the land, not just the land you're trying to land, but the land of your childhood land. Metaphoric, not just physical farm stuff. Does that make sense? Yeah. So it just feels like for the next 6 months, oh, and that makes sense because you've just really tapped into inner child stuff, right? And so for the next 6 months, just continue with that. Any fear that comes up, it's this, okay? Beck, for you, interesting, because I was getting that sense around the child or the womb, the generational, like, do you know what I mean? And I was like, that's interfering. And so similar for you, Beck, around continuing the inner child trauma healing stuff, you know. And so in my third eye chakra consciousness course, it is one of the bonuses in my Trust Intuition course. There's the advanced inner child meditation. It's a lot longer. And that literally is like a deeper cleaning and clearing and healing for the inner child. I don't think you're in any of my courses or my inner circle, but anyway, I would work with inner child stuff, definitely. You can purchase my inner child meditation separately by itself. Yeah, I don't have my advanced inner child meditation separate because it's advanced, so it's a little bit thing. Not yet. So Beck, for you as well, inner child, but also a lot of grounding stuff for you, Beck, for some reason. There's like grounding around, like grounding, base chakra grounding. When we are grounding a new reality, base chakra is amplified, of course, we're grounding a new reality. Base chakra is either you're in fear or you're in trust. And so whenever it's this, it's like, oh, grounding a new reality here. Hang on, let me get my bearings. Yeah. So that's what's coming through there. What you're hoping for, what you're scared of, cancel, clear, delete, same thing. It's a choice to stay in the big dreams. It's a choice to stay in the, the visualizing success, the dreaming big. And whenever you have a negative thought or you find yourself in a negative spiral, anytime I do that myself, or if I'm driving and I'm like thinking something negative, I like shake my head and I'm like in my third eye, and sometimes with my head, I draw a cross. Yeah, so like I cancel it out. I'm like, no, and I throw it out the window. I either do that just in my mind's eye, and sometimes I do a little head nod, and then I throw it out the window, throwing the thought out, no, and then I'm consciously, what do I want to think about here? Yeah, so little trick. And then final card is emotional sensitivity. Both of you are coming into your heart in a deeper way, understanding your intuition, a lot of mother healing. Like I said, for you, Beck, there's a lot of sacral base stuff going on, and it's because you're really allowing, I want to say, this softer feminine side to come out, but it's so strong within a child for you, Beck, with around that, like the softening of the heart that stayed, it's almost like stayed protective, I guess, from something. The bottom card of the deck is integrity, and it's almost like you've stepped out of a place where you were out of integrity, and hence you're coming into more integrity. But it's almost like you didn't have a choice in the past and you had to live out of integrity. Now, I know that doesn't make sense because we always have a choice, okay? But there's something that was almost keeping you trapped that is like this thing around not like it's, you know what I mean? And it's just like, this is what's blooming out of you. And it's such a beautiful picture too. This beautiful, and it's interesting, I was getting like the divine feminine softness, you know, and it's like, look at that. It's like, so just like in a hammock of flowers or something, you know, it's just letting yourself just be in your full integrity, being in your full vibe of just, you know, so it just feels like really honoring this and the waves of grief, right? I spoke to you at the start around, like the releasing, and when we don't let go of something if we just haven't grieved it, plain and simple. So the emotional sensitivity is honoring the waves, but you're also coming into a place of deep integrity, and sometimes that can feel confronting because of how long you've been living out of integrity, for example. Yeah. Julie says, my hips have been really sore lately, releasing all the old trauma, and that's really generational stuff. So I'd work with as well, Julie, the generational lift meditation, and also the just recommended it to a client this morning as well, the reclaiming your true heart meditation, the codependent societal release. I'd work with that too, from the heart chakra consciousness. It's one of the newer ones that I just released too. Yeah, so that's in the heart chakra consciousness. There we go. That's you too. I just read both of you at the same time. All right, I have another round of yes pleases, please. Ashley says, I do the same thing except mine's on a whiteboard, and I shake my head to erase it all out, and I say, I do not consent. Oh, I love it. Shake it out. Like the Etch-a-Sketch. We found that in the storage shed the other day. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? The Etch Sketch thing. Are they even still in existence? Can you still buy them? I don't even know. Yes, the other one. Yes, the Reclaiming a True Heart meditation. Codependent societal release. I know it's a bit of a mouthful, but it's also a very big meditation. Releasing the scar layers that are piled up around your heart. That's in the heart chakra consciousness. For those of you who, you know, like all my chakra consciousness courses, so, you know, there's 2 ways to join my inner circle, which gives you access to all my courses, all my meditations. You can either have lifetime access or depending on which level you join at. So there's 2 inner circles. There's one where it's private mentorship with me for 12 months. And then there's just the inner circle, which is the Reality Awareness Members Lounge. And that just gives you access to Trust the Intuition, to all my chakra consciousness courses, to the whole thing, right? So you're in all my groups, any course that I release, you basically get access to everything except for any hard copy books and or card decks once I start creating them, because they're definitely in the works. Surprise. So if you'd like information about the lounge, the Reality Awareness Members Lounge, just comment lounge below and I'll send it to you, because it is where you can get access to all the courses, all the meditations that I'm referring to, and any course that I release. Plus it's also Trust the Intuition access too. So, but then there's also Accelerator, which you get all of that, plus you get to work with me for 12 months as well. So yeah, if you want details of that, just comment lounge below. All right, so let's have a look here. Cancel. I love that. Cancel, please. Yeah, and it's awesome to have these tools, right? Because it's really a conscious, like, actually, no, I'm not thinking that. Actually, what do I want to choose? You know, it's like, we can cancel it out. And the same with purge journaling, you know, is really, really potent too, the purge journaling. But when you throw that piece of paper out, when you throw that thought out, then do not finish that moment in time until you go, but what do I want to choose and what do I want to focus on, and spend a chunk of time on that, either journaling, writing, or, you know, visualizing it or whatever, right? The lounge is a lifeline. Yes. Yes, it definitely is. Kayla says, what would you say it means when you're trying to leave someone in the past because that is what's necessary, but somehow they keep popping back up in life, somehow repetitively in life, not as much in person, but through other people? It's funny about that. I was working with one of my clients and she's going through similar but different, like the scenario. She's in this place. It's not really funny. It's really like, she's like, what the fuck's happening? And I'm like, it's interesting, right? And the why it happens is because we haven't fully grieved and healed from everything that happened. Plain and simple. There's just still threads, right? And this is why when we're leaving an unhealthy relationship, when we're shifting career, when we're moving and shifting out of an old life into a new life, we could be married with kids and happily moved on, and this shit's still going on because you haven't cleaned up the energetics of those past relationships, right? And this is where a spiritual mentor like myself helps to unthread all of those energetics. Remember I talked about the entangled ball of wool, right? And it's like, I'm plain and simple can see like this, and this, and this. Like within 10 minutes on a call with a brand new client, I'm like, this is it. Like this is all the things we work on, let's go, you know? And it's like, it's untangling all of that, because otherwise it keeps popping up, and it's literally just because the energetic threads are still there. And it could be like, you're in a whole new life, but all these new people have the same names or the same personalities, and you're like, what is happening here? It's like the mirror. I just haven't, like, what did her friend say? She said, it was so brilliant. Like a new series, the same series with all new actors, right? It's just like something like that. And I'm like, oh my God, that's exactly what it is. It's only because you just haven't fully healed from it. That's all. Yeah? It's just healing to do. Okay. All right. So who is this for? So yeah, so if you want details for the lounge, comment lounge. If you want to work with me privately alongside that for 12 months, just comment Accelerator, because you get the courses and working with me. And then Trust Intuition, I teach all these tools as well, but the lounge gives you access to Trust Intuition as well. So, okay. So who is this for? I'm just gonna check these yes pleases. Okay, Sarah Ackers. I don't know if I'm pronouncing your last name correctly. So Sarah Ackers. I'm probably definitely not pronouncing that correctly. If you can just let me know if you're still here. Kayla says that's true with also similar personalities popping up. Yeah, it's a thing, right? Like, you know how you've heard probably, like, we don't repeat patterns, but we go up on the spiral? It's similar to that sort of scenario, but it gets less and less the more we work on the truth of it. Yes, Sarah is still here. Okay, awesome. So past card, dream. Not sure if you've been watching this whole live stream, but like we've spoken about dreams and committing to the big dreams and all those things. So dream is in the past. Initiation, you're going through an initiation. In the future, you have trust. This one also came out at the same time with it. So it's in the both messages for the future, which is trust and higher consciousness is both of these for the future for you. So trust and higher consciousness. And then we have in what you're hoping for and what you're scared of is death. It's a death of an old life, death of a consciousness, something is shedding from your life, not necessarily death, okay? And then we have Weaver, the lavender is the Weaver. In the overlying card is the Magician, which is the alchemy. Like, you have the power to transform this situation, you have the power to change your life. And so when we look at the past card of the dream, even though we talked a lot on this live stream about committing to your biggest dreams, your full dreams, your whole dreams, blah, blah, blah dreams. This is also, like I feel for you personally, Sarah, is you've been actually having a lot of sleeping dreams. Whether you're conscious of them or not, I'm not sure, but I feel like you've been waking up tired because your soul has actually been traveling a lot. And it doesn't necessarily talk about traveling here, but with the initiation card and the trust and the higher consciousness card, I feel like your soul has been doing a lot of traveling to other realms. I spoke a similar message in the Tuesday Tarot card. I'm like, I just said this somewhere. I'm like, oh yeah, I just wrote Tuesday Tarot last night. And it was a similar message, different but similar, about traveling. So when we're sleeping in our dreams, like, which is really reality, which is really the dream state, which is really blah, 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 fill in the blank, right? Because this initiation is like, you know, I feel like when this card comes up, you're rebirthing something. It's not, but what just came to mind, like, it reminded me of a uterus. It's not, it's a flower, but it looks like that's what came to mind. And I'm like, you're rebirthing something. Your heart is going through, like, it's almost like a shell is breaking, but it feels like you're shifting into another realm with your heart. Like if the heart was coming down, almost like, you know what we're talking about. I always talk about drop your mind into your heart, like let your heart expand bigger than your mind, to encompass your mind, if you may, and let it hold it. And the mind doesn't like stillness because it thinks it's going to die. Like the ego feels like it's going to die. But it's a training to allow the stillness gaps, right? Meditation is not about trying to stop thought. Meditation is about becoming the observer of the thought, and that's a most potent way to start witnessing your intuition and building a relationship with your intuition or your inner child or whatever part we want to talk about. And it's interesting because of the higher consciousness and the trust. And this is what I feel like you're really working on, right? Is the initiation that you're going through is, you know, it covered in goosebumps. It feels like your life has completely obliterated from everything that you've known, and you're like, what the fuck is actually going on here? And then this higher consciousness and the trust is like, I feel like there's a part of you going, yeah, what fucking ever, Hannah? Like, do you know what I mean? Because it's almost like there is so much like stuff dismantling through this initiation that you're just like, trust and initiation and all this like beautiful weaving your reality, and like, get the fuck away from me right now, okay? I do not want to hear this spiritual jargon bullshit. Just leave me the fuck alone because my life is collapsing and I don't want to hear this shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like when we're going through one of the most traumatic, hugest life changes ever, which is what the initiation card is, it's like, no. I'm really big on like spiritual jargon, bullshit, friggin' cliche, not the right thing to say to a person when they're going through one of the biggest changes of their life. Fuck no. It's more like, I am so sorry that you're going through this. It must be really fucking hard right now. Yeah. But I'm also giving you this bigger perspective, which I know you know, and I know your soul knows, right, around this, because this higher consciousness and the trust is always deeply connected to solar plexus, taking back your power, leaving situations that are out of alignment. So if you haven't been sleeping properly either, you've also been waking up between 1 a.m. and 3 a.m., which means something is out of alignment with your life. It's solar plexus, it's alignment, it's the liver as well. So liver needs a detox, but it can be very emotional. Liver is connected to the third eye, and what we're seeing in our relationship and healthy or unhealthy relationships, and we're waking up to just, this is shit, what the fuck am I doing with my life? How the fuck do I even get out of this situation? And this trust is like your life purpose is catalyzing your life. I don't even know if that's the right word. This is happening because your life purpose is the catalyst and pushing you to the life that you're meant to live, hence the death card around everything falling apart and like your whole life obliterating, and the weaver stepping into like, you can create the life you want now, but for quite some time you might not know what that is. You don't know what that feels like. The magician card, again, like really covered in goosebumps again for you, like really confirming that like you are in a very magical place right now, but it probably does not feel like it at all. Yeah, that is for you, Sarah. They are very beautiful cards, right? Very, very beautiful cards. All right, if you'd like a private psychic reading, just comment psychic below. If you want to work with me in the highest level at Life Purpose Accelerator, just comment accelerator below. It's where you get the inner circle and 12 months private mentorship with me. Plus you get all my courses, trust your intuition, everything. If you just want to join the inner circle, which is the Reality Awareness Members Lounge, which gives you access to trust your intuition and all my courses, all my meditations, comment lounge below, and that's where you can get all of these beautiful gifts and tools that change your freaking life. It's a beautiful, beautiful deck, right? I'm gonna have another round of yes pleases. If you want a reading, just comment yes please. This is the Herbal Astrology by Adriana. It's so fucking beautiful. Like, there's a lot of decks out there on the market, right? But the ones I really feel the heart and soul of are definitely Alana Fairchild. Definitely this woman's consciousness through here. It's like ours. It's on point. It's very up to date. So yeah, I really love this. Yeah, I tagged her in Instagram, and it seems Instagram's sort of like made her account not visible because of what she shares. Truth about herbal healing, right? Okay. Who is this one for? I also love this deck of cards. Okay, I've got lots of decks of cards. We need a live of your five of your top 5 to 10 decks. I was just about to say, yeah, no, that's not gonna happen. Because I also love this one. A client sent me this. She bought them from New Orleans, like the witch capital of the world. Woman in total control of herself. These cards are fucking brilliant as well. It's Angie Sullins, this one, and it's like, it's beautiful. I fucking love this too. A witch is a woman in total control of herself. Sarah says, thank you very much. I had tears in my eyes with a smile. So relates. You're so very welcome, Sarah. So very welcome. Okay, Monique, this is for you. Covered in goosebumps. Okay, Monique. Monique, first of all, the weaver of the red tent. Deeply connecting to your womb, menstrual cycles, I want to say womanhood, motherhood, triple goddess energy, but I also feel like you're entering a different phase of your life. And it's interesting because the judge has come up. Now, judge has very many different meanings, but I also wonder if you're going through some sort of court case, separation, legal stuff. Like, it does feel custody battle. I don't even know if, yeah, I don't know. There's something quite strong happening for you. And I feel like it's all going to work in your favor, but I feel like it's like freaking feels like dragging yourself through mud at the moment or something feels not stuck. It's just like, this is really fucking happening right now. Like, it, do you know what I mean? It just feels like there's something. Let's just have a look here. So again, I'm reading the book. Something wrong. Don't judge me for reading the book. No, I'm kidding. Kind of funny. I'm just really showing you guys. Like, some people are so like, oh, I can't read the book online. And I'm like, what? She is the mistress of her own power, and she lives in you. Now it's time to call on her. Her message is trust yourself. There is no source outside your sacred self that can make decisions or choices for you. I also feel that this is a part of you, like trusting yourself, but backing yourself with the decisions that you've made with whichever stage of your life you're shifting away from. Do you know what I mean? It's almost like you're in a place where you're judging yourself pretty fucking harshly right now, and you need to cut that out. It feels like you're being way too hard on yourself. It's almost like you're living in regret. And by the way, like, you know, I'm saying all this, but at the same time, like, regret is part of the grieving process. Like, it's a stage of letting go. Okay. So, you know, when I say that, it's also part of the process. Okay. But can you just not be so fucking hard on yourself? And the witch knows the ultimate authority is herself, right? And so this is the part where it's like trusting your intuition can be around a lot of, like the childhood stuff we were just talking about in the last readings. It's like, when we're really hard on ourselves, you might as well be beating your inner child up, okay? If you're struggling to stop being so hard on yourself, look at it as though every time you are nasty or beat yourself up or anything, you are essentially abusing your inner child. Kind of helps us to just slow down a minute, yeah? Don't beat yourself up for the choices you've made in your life, but I also feel like you're coming into a place where you're honoring it. Look, the actual card, this is number 1 card, right? Which is, oh yeah, it's on the back. That's why I was like, this is like similar to the back of the cards. This is number 1 in the deck, the witch. Yeah. Woman in total control of herself. So really coming into a place of reclaiming your power. Yeah. So stop beating yourself up. You know, it's like, and I just feel like, yes, you are in a place of healing, grieving, maybe just going through like a what the fuck moment in your life. But it is, you know, you chose this because you knew there was something better. You knew that there was something else you had to do with your life. Like, do you know what I mean? But I also feel there's a bit of like, I want to say backstabbing, betrayal, didn't see it coming, left field, what the fuck stuff going on. And I just feel like this witch, like control. No woman alive needs a dictionary to know what control means within a toxic patriarchy. And that's what you're stepping out of, right? She's experienced it 1,000 times, different ways before she's even hit puberty. It's alive in the curves of her psyche, in the expanses of her hips, in the marrow of her bones. It's domination and restraint. But in a balanced psyche and in a balanced culture, control can mean something else entirely. A witch, a woman in total control of herself, experiences control through cooperation rather than competition. I would like to say the control that they're talking about in the empowered sense is empowerment. Yeah, is empowerment, 100%, yeah? So your influence is enough rather than power with, this is a power with empowerment rather than power over. Invite whatever is bothering you today into the realm of inclusion and assert your authority. And this is where you're standing up for yourself, right? This is where you're standing up for yourself to really come into a place of taking back your power. And the story keeper, it's interesting, the number 2 card has come up. So you've got number 1, and then the overlying card is number 2 right at the beginning. So a whole new cycle for you. I'm just going to see what jumps out about the story keeper. Telling yourself a story of empowerment will surge energy through you. Notice how your shoulders drop, your breath deepens, and your heart warms. Telling yourself a story of scarcity or disempowerment leaves you tight, small, and cramped. So it's like, watch the stories that you're telling yourself, but this is also a place where you can really come into, like, it's like the mind. What are you telling yourself? What story do you want to tell? Where do you want to like lead yourself? Yeah, but I feel like that's what you're moving through right now. Don't judge yourself for the life you've lived, but which story are you weaving into existence now? And that's the message for you. For Monique. I love it. Murray asked, have I totally recovered from the dog attack that happened to you? That was absolutely crazy. That happened to you. Not seen you for ages. Sorry for that backup, as it must have been mind-blowing for you. Yeah, thanks for that. Have I totally recovered? What classes is totally recovered? Now, I'm a lot better than I was, obviously. My finger is definitely like, I've just learned to live with it. So you can see here, my little finger. I can't use it like, how, I can bend it, but I can't grip anything properly, right? Like I can't, like that's me bending. Like if you're bending your fingers, I can't use that last little bit. Sorry for those guys, I'm grossing you out. So the dog's completely ripped that off. It was hanging by a thread. Maybe you needed to tune out, sorry, a bit late. Yeah, and so the doctor just put it back on, but I've lost movement in it. Like I can't bend the end of it. But I just chose to live with this rather than having it amputated. Because unless I'm pointing it out for you, maybe sometimes you can pick it up, but you'll always see it now, I've told you, for those of you who are new here. Yeah, so yeah, I've just learned to live with it. Definitely still comes in waves. Like obviously I'm way better than I was. It's interesting you asked me because it was kind of this time 2 years ago where I actually was at the beach and I took a photo, so random, sitting at the beach, put my hand on the ground, took a photo of that hand. Don't ask me why, and I've literally got a photo. 2 weeks later, dogs took my finger and many other stuff. I won't go into it all. So yeah, it's like 2 years exactly, roughly, that I took that photo. And then in 2 weeks time, roughly, it'll be 2 years since the attack. So it's interesting you asked me and bring it up. Yeah, so I'm pretty good now, but, sometimes definitely still around staffies. Like I used to love staffies growing up. Pet shop, I worked in a pet shop. I love staffies. But unfortunately now the side of mastiffs or staffies, American or English, just that breed, it still can get me. Like I won't really walk near them, or I just choose not to. And it's not that I think, oh, that dog's gonna attack me. It's more like, look at the fucking muscles on that thing. And when I've had 2 80 kilos pulling, like one had my leg, one had my arm, being in the middle of a tug of war, out in the paddock, screaming at the top of my head, it's the brute strength of those 2 80 kilo dogs that when I see a muscle dog, that's the thing that I'm like, that dog's stronger than me and I can't protect myself. So can you just stay away from me, please? And I'll walk right around to you because it just, yeah. So I have my coping mechanisms, if you may. But, any other dogs, I'm all right, unless, and it's interesting, right? I always talk about grief and healing and it comes in waves. Yeah, it'll come in waves on timeline points. So I'm very, very conscious of that in the last 2 years. And then if I'm just like moving through something, or, the eclipse energy sort of amplified a little bit for me too, because it happened 2 days after an eclipse. So I'm just very conscious of it, I guess. And just my system is, still a little bit rattled when I am around like groups of dogs, like at the beach or anything like that. I'm very alert, if you may. So, it's just something that, and I love animals. I've worked in a pet shop. I've had animals my whole life. I've got dogs, it's like, yeah, but I'm definitely a lot better than I was. So yeah, thanks for asking. But yeah, so that's that. So Monique says, thank you so much, Hannah. So amazing. Totally nailed my life at the moment. I promise to work on telling myself a better story. Yeah, and like I said, this is part of the grieving process, it's like, even with the, the dog attack or anything that we go through in our life, we're always going to ruminate and go, oh, I should have done this, or I should have done that, or why did I do that, or why did I do this? And like I said, like, I want to say that's healthy to an extent because it's part of the grieving process, but we must be grieving, we must be healing from it actively. But if we're not, and they're just the stories going around, that's when we're stuck in it. Yeah. So it's like knowing the difference there. It's definitely stuff that I teach in Trust Intuition. So Trust Intuition is my 9-month certification program. We start next year in February. In 1st of December, the investment goes up. So early bird is open now. And, you know, when next year when we start it, like it's a 9-month course that we content dropped, and we're doing live stream support calls throughout the 9 months as well. I'd give yourself 12 months to complete it, because once we've finished all the course, then you know, you can start doing your practical hours, you know, sort of halfway along, but there is practical hours to complete as well. So there is, you know, it's a decent course. But you don't have to do the certification part. You can just use it for your own healing and your own tools. You've got lifetime access. So in 5 years, if you did want to finally do the certification, you've got access to it, you know, and it is lifetime access. So every time we go through the program, if you wanted to redo it, then you can. Like this year, I didn't hold it, and I sent an email out to all the previous students in there that if you want to redo it, like I'm refilming all the content, because I originally filmed it in 2016, so it's like being refilmed, and I'll be dropping the content along the way for the next 9 months from February, which I'm really excited about, because like it's a massive job, but I'm really fucking excited about it, because I'm refilming it with Hannah, who's in this wisdom now about trusting her intuition. And, you know, originally when I held Trust Intuition, it was really like teaching how to leave unhealthy, toxic, negative relationships, heal from family shit, and really come out the other side so that you can attract a healthy relationship. And now I'm in that place where I'm in a healthy relationship, and it's amazing. And to be able to refilm it with this journey, consciousness, healing, awareness, and this level of consciousness for Hannah, like I'm really fucking excited. Like it's the same content, but when I'm refilming, and when I film, you guys see when I do live streams, like the stuff that channels through at times is like, where did that just come from, right? So when I'm filming course content, the same thing happens. So I'm really excited to see what comes through, you know, really, yeah. So if you want details of Trust Intuition, just comment trust below. If you want to work with me alongside that, the Inner Circle Life Purpose Accelerator is where you work with me privately for 12 months, plus you get Trust Intuition and all my other courses. So that's like the ultimate inner circle. If you just want access to Trust Intuition and all the courses, that's the Reality Awareness Members Lounge Inner Circle. So you get access to the lounge, and it's all the courses and any course that I release over the next 12 months, any meditation that I release. The only thing that you don't get in those, in the lounge is any hard copy stuff. But everything else you get access to, which is just so much content. So yeah, just comment trust below if you want the details for that. Hi Rebecca, first time catching me live. I just finished the readings, but if you watch the start of this live stream, I did a collective message, so you can check that out. Ashley said, I always had a fear of dogs. I used to hate being scared of them, but with this healing journey, I've learned to accept my fear. Yeah, it's kind of a thing, right? They're technically a wild animal. They're an animal, you know, and that's just my intuition telling me that it's what the dog's capable of. Yeah, exactly. And now there's dogs that I feel fear and won't go near, and then there's other dogs when we're curious of each other and want to go running up to each other. Exactly. For me, it's nothing to do with the breed, except German Shepherds. They're the ones I'm most scared of, but I'm feeling it's past life stuff. Yeah, and it's interesting, right? Because I've got a German Shepherd, and everyone is scared of her, and I'm like, you actually need to be scared of the the Chihuahua. Like when I had a Chihuahua, I was like, it's the Chihuahua you need to be scared of, not the Shepherd. Yeah, and just watch out for scammers, guys. I just see that somebody's jumping on. So just gonna ban this person. If anyone's like hassling you, friend requesting you, like hounding you, like use your intuition. That's not fucking me. It's not, you know, any psychic reader does not fucking do that, okay? They're like, find my website, come to me, book in with me, I'm not gonna hound you. Like, they're scammers. Please be so aware, use your fucking intuition, just don't get scammed. You're very welcome, Rebecca. All right, I'm jumping off, guys. I'll see you soon. Have a beautiful day.